So grade school, high school, you were still into drawings. You participated in mga contest, ganun.
Oo.
Nice.
Tapos, ayun, the art teachers that I had, ayun, very encouraging. Then, alam mo yun, parang very supportive. Ang laking bagay na may supportive kang teachers, may supportive kang family, friends, and ayun. So, yung journey na yun talagang, ayun, naengganyo ko, syempre, kasi all of them are encouraging me and ayun, syempre, ayoko naman maging disappointment. So, I tried my best always and ayun, syempre, along the way, may mga, syempre, hindi ka mananalo sa contest, ganon, you'll begin to notice na you're not the best artist in the room. So, ayun, parang nakikita mo na din na there are ups, there are downs, ayun, pero yung maganda doon, ano ka lalo magpupursigi ka lalo na
Yes.
i-hone mo pa lalo yung craft mo, yung skills mo. So, ayun. So, practice lang ng practice talaga.
Well, you mentioned na yun nga yung you didn't allow it na yung mga hindi ka nanalo to like let you down. But surely meron mga instances na parang maybe you wanted to stop like pursuing art na rin like during your journey.
I wanted talaga to be an artist and it never stopped me actually. So parang pagdating nung college, every time yung mga professors namin, hina-heads up kami na oh, may contest dito, may on the spot painting, ganon. So parang sali lang kami ng sali. Tapos ayun, eventually kasi mapapansin mo din pagdating sa mga art contests, depende dun sa judges kung ano yung very subjective kasi siya eh. So, um, hindi mo tawag dito mamasamain kasi minsan yung mga pinipili ng judges more of realism sila.
Right.
Minsan yung gusto nila na traditional na yung may mga kamay na may mga halaman, yung may earth,
Ah,
ganon.
right.
So parang yung iba, mapapansin mo parang out of this world naman yung gusto nila. So it's not about you eh. Yung ano, yung kumbaga parang you don't need to take it personally yung mga ganong contest. So it's more of self-development pagdating sa pag-hone ng skills mo sa art.
You mean you would encourage people na who are interested in art to actually engage in contest na it's really a parang learning experience and parang makadevelop yung skills mo.
Tsaka pag ganun kasi ma-expose ka din na sa mga iba pang artists. So
Right.
you get to engage with them and yung ma-observe mo na, uy, ang galing naman nung ginagawa niyang style, ganon. So parang eventually you want something better na for yourself na pwede mong i-emulate, pwede mong gawing much better or alam mo yan. So medyo subjective nga yung pagdating sa mga contests. Pero it's a great learning experience then.
Yes. Since grade school, no? You were joining na contest.
Yeah.
Nice. So, extensive na rin yung ano mo experience mo sa contest rin pala. Yeah. Okay, so I'm asking lang questions kasi sometimes I want to focus on there are also artists kasi or aspiring artists who like wants to learn things from real artists who actually practice this. So, I guess a typical na question is hindi ka ba natakot like to pursue art kasi alam mo naman yung mga stigma associated with art na hindi ka makakapera sa ganun. So what was your like thoughts like when you decided to pursue talaga fine arts and applying for it as a job?
I don't look at it as a job. It's something that I like to do. Diba sabi nila, um, love what you do and do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. So, um, naramdaman ko yun nung college eh. Kasi yung so UST kasi they had they have this traditional way of teaching you how to do art. Um, so sa first year mo, meron mga life drawing, life sketching, life painting. So usually same models yung ginagamit nila. And nakakasawa siya at first. Pero when you get to fourth year, and then i-observe mo yung mga plates or yung mga sketches mo nung first year ka, nakakatuwa kasi nakikita mong nagde-develop yung skill mo sa drawing. So it's not actually na parang ito na naman, drawing na naman tayo, ganon. Pero ayun, parang habit forming siya, kumbaga. So more of hand-eye coordination, ganon. So ang laking bagay talaga ng pagpa-practice saka yung pagde-develop ng skills mo.
Yung sa college, was it more, you said the same models, was it more parang realism na art ang tinuturo? Like the basics, mga proportion, ganun?
Um, may time nun na inaral namin yung mga different styles. So, minsan realism, minsan more of kunyari, cubism or impressionism. So, lahat ng, parang you get to try everything. Tapos, syempre, yun, kung saan mo gustong mag-stick eventually after college, syempre, dun ka kasi dun, yun yung gusto mong gawin eh.
And yung talking about yung style, what may specific style ka na nag-gravitate na after college?
Actually, parang medyo hodgepodge yung ano ko eh. Yung parang I jump from one style to another
Mm.
and pagdating dito sa museum, I was forced to look at flora and fauna in a three-dimensional manner and ayun, kailangan kasi pagdating doon, hindi ko pwede siyang i-interpret how I want it, pero kailangan ma-interpret ko siya to paper or to canvas na ayun, kung ano yung pagkakakita mo sa kanya, dapat ganun din yung pag illustrate mo or pag-paint mo sa subject na yun. Ayun, kasi yung importante pagdating sa museum kasi syempre hindi naman tayo nakakapunta lahat sa mga kagubatan, sa ilalim ng karagatan, ganun. So parang ang Natural History Museum natin ay pinapakita kung ano yung makikita natin sa kalikasan. Kumbaga parang para ma-appreciate mo lalo. So kung divert ka sa style na parang cubism, ganon. So, pwedeng iba yung interpretation ng tao
Right.
doon. So, paano nila malalaman kung ito yung, kunyari, yung endangered na hayop? Kung, kunyari, dilaw lang at itim na parang beetle. Eh, ang dami nating klaseng beetles, di ba?
Right.
So, ayun, kailangan accurate siya, saka, ayun, parang what you see is what you get talaga.
Mhm. Yeah, parang ang discipline niya is really parang tight no na yung accuracy is really important. Which I can see lang yung sa likod mo, which is a nice drawing of that's a mantis or insect, type of
Um,
insect,
leaf insects.
leaf insect.
Mhm.
Meron tayo niyan. All your drawings are understandably sa Philippines naman, di ba?
Most of them.
Most of
Yes.
them. Okay, so before we go further sa yung sa art mo and your work sa museum. Can you tell us like how you applied yung sa museum? I know you briefly wrote it sa yung sa Pinoy Scientist, but maybe you can tell us like your journey when you applied for that job.
Ang National Museum kasi back then, parati kong nadadaanan kapag papuntang UST. So, along Taft ako nadaan. And I was always curious na ano bang laman nito. Kasi I briefly remember going inside the museum and seeing the spolarium, pero parang very vague na yung memory na yun. So, a couple of years after graduating college, syempre, nandun pa din yung curiosity and ayun, nag-walk-in na lang ako and I asked if there were any available jobs for a fine arts graduate. So, luckily, merong meron sila opening for an artist sa zoology division and actually matagal pa bago ako natawagan noon for an interview. Pero ayun, nung nag-interview ako, they actually had me at we do not confine our artists within the four corners of the
Mm-hmm.
museum. So, syempre, for any artist or for anyone, syempre, adventure yun eh. In the fact na makakapag fieldwork ka or go on to expeditions. It it was never a boring job actually. So may times na ayan, nag-illustrate ako, may times na nagpo-photograph ako ng museum specimens, may times na nag-paint ako ng replicas. And ayun, may times din na ayun, nakakapag-dabble din ako with taxidermy.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can imagine yung taxidermy, no. But first, I want to ask you, yung when you applied for that job, Isa, yung did you already know or have an idea kung anong ipapagawa nila sa iyo sa museum?
Before the interview, actually, ang thinking ko kung ano yung nasa loob ng museum ay more of fine arts lang.
Right.
Kasi, syempre, ang unang may isip mo pagdating sa museum ay usually paintings, sculptures. Pero I didn't know na meron palang um, zoology, botany, geology, archaeology. So, ang lawak pa pala ng pwedeng matutunan within the museum. So, I was actually surprised and kakatuwa kasi yung mga parang biglang nag-open lalo yung mundo ko. Kaya ganun eh. um, Kumbaga parang kung ano yung nalalaman ko in art school, parang biglang nag-widen lalo yung perspective ko na meron pa palang mga ganito pagdating sa museum. And
Yes.
um dun sa dun sa span of 15 years na nasa museum ako, ang dami ko natutunan, ang dami ko na experience and nakakatuwa din kasi yung transition na dati kasi dalawang buildings lang yung National Museum nun sa Manila. Nakalipat kami sa National Museum of Natural History noong 2017 or 2018. And dumami lalo yung regional branches namin. So, pagdating sa regional branches, iba-iba pa yung makikita mong mga exhibitions, ganun. So parang lahat ay lahat ng museums lahat ng regional branches, very unique yung mga exhibits nila.
Okay,
Mm.
so I want to ask you about your art na. So, do you also study them, yung mga body nila na you maybe dissect them in a way and study them?
Hindi pa naman napunta dun sa punto na kailangan ko silang i-dissect.
Right.
Pero kunyari, kunyari sa new species,
Mhm.
usually kasi you have to describe yung itsura nila in words for the scientist or the researcher. They have to describe it in words na dapat tugma din dun sa illustration. So, For these types of illustrations, maganda na merong specimen on hand or photographs na kung hindi mo man nakikita siya in personal, makikita mo naman siya in a parang mabubuo mo siya sa utak mo in a three-dimensional manner.
Right.
So, mahirap kasi na magbase lang sa isang photo kasi hindi mo kita lahat ng kailangan na parts na kailangan i-drawing. So, ayun, usually very important yon sa kanila, sa mga researchers or scientists para i-describe yung new species na yon. So, let's say, for example, pagdating sa crabs, um, minsan may mga crabs na may mga spines. So, kailangan bilang mo yung spines nila para
Wow.
masabi na
That
yun yung
accurate, ha?
species na yun. Yes. Tapos minsan, kailangan mo din tignan yung para ma-figure out nila na kung new ito is tinitignan nila yung male reproductive organ. So, kung iba siya dun sa ibang species na na-observe nila, ayun. So, kailangan din yun i-drawing. So, ang daming factors actually. So, minsan kailangan mo silipin sa microscope kasi sobrang liit lang nung specimen. Minsan, kailangan mo tingnan sa photographs. Ayun. So, parang case-to-case basis siya, actually.
You mentioned 15 years na. You've been there.
Mm.
Mga tagal na rin, no? But how long did it take you to adjust yung ganun na approach in terms sa doing the drawings? Like yung very specific,
Before kasi, nung medyo bago-bago pa ako, nahiya akong magtanong.
right?
So, nagkataon na yung researcher na ka-collaborate ko, nag-fieldwork siya. So, unang unang approach ko nun sa scientific illustration was ayun, ito-drawing ko lang kung ano yung nakikita ko. So, hindi siya ganun ka-accurate. So nung nag-fieldwork siya, syempre, I have no means of contacting her. So, I just went on drawing and drawing siguro for about a week or two. And then, eventually, nung nakabalik na siya sa office, nung pinakita ko yung drawings ko, parang, ay, so sorry, pero kailangan mo ulitin. So, ayun. So, syempre, parang a week or two weeks worth ng trabaho, parang nasayang kasi mali yung pinagagagawa ko. So, ngayon, natuto na ako magtanong. So, luckily, meron pa akong kasamahan nun na artist na ayun, tinuro niya sa akin kung paano mag-grid, kung paano measure, kung ano yung mga kailangang aspects or mga perspectives na tingnan pagdating sa crabs. Ayun. So, every step of the way, ayun, tinatanong ko na yung ka-collaborate ko na researcher para maging maganda yung outcome. Saka, syempre kung you're working with traditional na method na yung pencil, pen, ayun, wala namang undo na pwede kang gawin or Control Z, Command Z, ganun. Um, ayun, kailangan mo ulitin ulit kasi kapag ganun. So, para hindi ma-aksaya yung oras namin, ayun, pinapacheck ko parate. Ayun, kasi syempre, um, hindi ko naman pwedeng i-claim na lahat alam ko. So,
Mm-hmm.
kaya tayo nakikipag-collaborate kasi meron siyang mata for anatomy, kung ano yung kulang ko, kung ano yung kailangan ko pang i-improve, ganun. So, ayun, so scientific illustration talaga is more of a collaborative process, and ang kagandahan din ngayon is ang daming resources na din online na kung saan pwede kang matuto. Ayun. So, ayun. So, for me, parang learning on the job talaga.
Right.
Learning by doing.
Mhm.
So, kasi kung hindi mo talaga siya ipapractice, ayun, parang kung all, ano tawag dito, if you're going to take it in lang, parang you read about it, pero kung hindi mo pinapractice, bali wala din siya, di ba? So, ayun.
For those who also wants to pursue this type of career, how long did it take you na parang to get the hang of yung drawing talaga scientific illustration? Na parang you can draw it on your own na.
Actually, wala pa din ako sa level na yun, yung level of confidence. So,
Really?
yeah.
After, well,
So,
I'm surprised ha, because you really do good drawings. Then I'm surprised
yeah,
after
yeah.
this
Pero,
long.
ayun, as much as possible kung, ayun, if you're building a career out of scientific illustration talaga, you have to reach out. Kasi, lalo na ako, wala naman akong background on science. Yun nga, I learn on the job. Ang pinakamaigi na gawin talaga is to reach out and ask kung okay, parang does it look okay to you or may kailangan ba akong i-improve, ganon. Pero, ayun, kung for scientific journals siya, ayun, dun tayo nagiging meticulous. Pero, if matatranslate mo naman siya, kunyari, yung different kinds of hornbills, um, makita mo lahat ng hornbills may malalaking beak sila. Tapos may parang casque doon sa ano. So, ayun. If pwede, kung kaya mo siyang i-differentiate pagdating sa color ng feathers, color ng beak, yung patterns, gano'n. Parang okay siya to do it on your own. Pero, yun nga, you have to be a keen observer para makita yung mga subtle differences. Kasi may ibang species na parang anong pinagkakaiba-iba nito? Eh, they all look the same. So, kailangan matalas yung mata mo. Ano ba yung difference yun, nung nila sa isa't isa? Yun, para ma-translate or maipahayag mo kung ano yung itsura nila ng mas maayos na hindi ka, syempre, mababash. Ayun. So,
You know
ayun.
what? Pag-describe mo pa lang, I can already imagine ang hirap ng ginagawa niyo. Kasi it's not like yung mga traditional na like art lang. Or even like how some artists do it na wala silang rules, di ba? They just paint away. Well, maybe they follow some certain yung mga technicalities, but sa inyo masyadong ano no, parang may mga ano talaga siya, rules and discipline na you have to follow, di ba?
Mm.
But I have to ask you, on your opinion, on a scale of 1 to 10, ang 10 pinakamahirap. Like how hard is your scientific illustration?
Depende eh.
Depende.
Kasi may ibang scientific illustrations na kailangan bilang mo yung scales, bilang mo yung
Wow.
spines.
Wait, okay, so
Ah,
when you when you say scale, of course, sa one side, sa example sa fish. So on one side ng fish, you have to count the scales, ganun. It has to be
ideally,
exact.
kung gusto
Right.
mo ma-translate siya into a talagang scientific illustration.
Mm-hmm.
Ayan. So it depends dun sa count din kung ganong ka-large din yung mga scales, proportionate ba siya dun sa body. Ayun, so hindi siya talaga basta-basta.
Wow.
So kung on a scale of 1 to 10, depende talaga kung anong subject yung kailangan i-drawing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Pero at least maybe we can have a range maybe from 5 to 10, mga ganun. From ang hard na ang kahirap niya.
Hmm, kung pagdating sa anything with scales,
Right.
nasa 10.
Right.
Pero for others, siguro mga 7, 8, ganun.
Wow, ang
Ayun.
laki pa rin ha. Baka
Depende talaga
ma-discourage.
eh.
Baka ma-discourage na yung mga tao mag-pursue after hearing this. But
Ayun.
so you mean to say ang pinakamahirap talaga is so fish and reptiles since sila man yung may scales.
Mm.
Wow. And birds, I suppose. Pati yung sa paa ng birds.
Oo, yung sa feathers. Kasi
That,
minsan yung iba merong, yun, may mga patterns. Tapos, ayun, kailangan tama din yung placement mo ng feathers actually. So, depende talaga. Case to case basis siya.
yeah,
So, ayun, kung sa scientific illustration, I think as long as na may ka-collaborate ka and you're not on your own, ayun, it will eventually become an easier task.
right. Uh-huh. Okay,
Saka you have
yeah,
to be very patient. Ayun.
patient. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so I have to ask you for maybe for the pinakamahirap na animal na i-drawing. How long does it take you to draw one?
Depende talaga. Okay.
One
Case
month? Hindi naman.
case to case basis talaga siya eh. Pero kung hmm, medyo hirap ako sa snakes. Ayun. Yun. Kasi
Yeah.
pagdating na sa syempre yung mga specimens natin is hindi naman siya isang diretso lang na ganun. So naka-loop
Yes.
siya.
Uh-huh.
Ganun. Tapos parang very challenging talaga siya to draw. Pero once na na-overcome mo na yung stage na yon, nakakatuwa din kasi, ayun, na-achieve mo yung the drawing or pag-illustrate ng snake. Ayun.
Right. Okay, so I have to ask you this lang before makalimutan tong mga questions. You said something earlier na walang erasures. Pero hindi ba na you first parang make a draft lang na outline and then
Yeah,
before you do the shading, ganun?
yeah. So, everything is done in pencil muna. And then I have it check. Tapos, syempre pagdating dun sa sa pag-i-ink, syempre hindi naman lahat maitatama mo right then and there. So, ayun, papacheck mo pa rin every step of the way or parang face by face. Tapos, ayun, kung may mali pa din dun sa ink na drawing or na illustration, ayun, saka natin ipapasok yung um, ang tawag dito, yung post-processing na. When you scan it, tapos kung ayusin mo siya sa Photoshop, kunyari,
Oh,
ayun,
nice.
doon mo
So
na
you also do Photoshop pala. Yeah.
yeah. So, medyo traditional and digital media yung, yan,
Yeah.
pinag-merge ko siya.
Yeah. But do they require you ba na you have to present the actual drawing or okay lang na i-Photoshop mo and then you just print it yung final product?
Kung for publication naman,
Mm.
um,
Differ. Yeah.
they don't actually need the drawing mismo. Pero, syempre, kung ano yung tama, yun yung dun sila. Ayun. So, usually, that's in JPEG na, in PNG. Ayun. Kung ano yung kailangan nila for
Mhm.
publication or for printing, kunyari para sa mga posters or exhibits.
Right. And I have to ask you yung mga techniques that you do. You mentioned earlier na you do grid.
Mhm.
Can you tell us like what else? Ano pang mga techniques na ginagamit mo for scientific illustrations?
Okay. Ano ba? Depende, depende din kasi kung ano yung paggagamitan. So, kunyari, if for new species, new discovery, anything na scientific journal related or sa mga peer-reviewed journal, that's where I do grid method na drawing. So, ayun, I base my drawings from the photographs I take and then I print them out and ayun, I I grid it and then I transfer it to another sheet of paper para ayun, i-drawing ko and then ayun, kailangan din mo malaman dun sa researcher or sa scientist kung ano may kailangan bang i-emphasize, may kailangan ba complicated yung drawing nito, okay lang bang may shading or kailangan ba line drawing lang ito, yung simpleng outlines lang. So, ayun, may mga factors na ganun. Tapos, um, if kunyari, for the coloring book, na yung Color Philippine Fauna by Number or Color Philippine Flora by Number namin na nilaunch nung pandemic. Ayun, syempre, it should be kid-friendly. Syempre, color by number, so kailangan makita din yung mga numbers and eventually, pag nakulayan mo siya ayun, ng tama, may kita mo yung kung ano yung itsura talaga ng animal in color, syempre. So, yung approach doon, syempre iba naman. So, what I do is I refer to different photographs, different, ayun, kung may specimen man sa museum, ayun, or taxidermy, ayun, kukunan ko siya ng litrato, tapos, as much as possible, ipapakita ko yan, kung ano yung talagang itsura niya. And then, ayun, I just draw what I see. Kung wala naman akong sarili kong photographs or references, syempre meron tayong, meron Google, di ba? So, syempre malaking bagay din ang hindi tayo maka-infringe ng copyright. So, what I do is I take composites of these photographs online and then I make a new composition out of it. So, wala tayong, ang tawag dito, wala tayong
Yung direct na copy.
direct na
Yeah.
copy. Pero, ayun, yung maganda din kasi dun sa, yun nga, being a keen observer and knowing kung ano yung parts na kailangan makita for that certain animal or flora is, ayun, matatranslate mo dun na dapat ganito yung kulay or dapat ganito yung kunyari, yung formation ng horns ng tama raw, kailangan pa V siya. Ayun, may mga critical din kasi na researchers na kailangan ipakita mo yung formation ng hair doon sa tama raw kasi hindi minsan, usually marati silang may puyo dito. So, paikot siya. So, yung direction ng hair o ng fur, ayun, kailangan mailagay mo din doon, ganun. So, that, parang case-to-case basis talaga siya.
And what about yung actual reading about the animals? For sure, you also do that para to try to get a better understanding, ba? Or more
Yes.
on pictures ka?
More more of pictures, pero pagdating kasi sa, syempre, ang ang goal kasi natin sa museum is maka-raise awareness tayo na meron tayong mga ganitong certain na flora and fauna sa Philippines, ganun. So, gusto mo din i-convey na, kunyari, these flowers can only be found in certain areas sa Philippines. Kunyari, um, let's say, ang Katmon Sibuyan or yung Dilenia Sibuyanensis. Kunyari, it can only be found in Sibuyan. Yun. So, kung taga Sibuyan ka, syempre, uy, yan pala, nakikita lang pala dito sa atin. So, parang, nagkakaroon ng awareness, nagkakaroon ng parang dapat maprotektahan natin to. So, yun, kaya nagbabasa tayo more on, yun, the information about the flora or the fauna. Yun, it's to raise awareness.
Nice. And I'm curious yung mga books na that you do. So I presume sa mga ano to, yung sa museum mismo ng mga books that they want to give to be available to the public. But aside sa doon sa museum mismo, meron bang ibang institutions that request you for a drawing? Do they also collaborate with you on that through the museum?
More of workshops actually, yung collaborations ko outside the museum.
Wow. So you've done a couple now, like by now for sure.
Yeah.
That's nice. Don't you like to like maybe you can do your own books? Have you done that na?
Isa yun sa mga plano ko in the future.
Nice. Yeah, you know what? And even I enjoy like looking at your videos mo when you draw. Maybe you can do, I don't know, maybe don't you have plans na to do a long form video na you just sketching the from start to finish? I mean, I like watching those things yung from scratch talaga. Kasi alam mo naman like, you know, it's also relaxing naman to
Mm.
look yung mga drawings.
Um, I have a couple of videos already, pero they're in YouTube and
Nice.
in live siya na recorded through another museum branch. So I think that's sa Bicol, NMP Bicol. Ayan. So I think they're still searchable.
Right. Anong YouTube handle mo?
It's Isa Domingo.
Isa
Ayan, sa
Domingo. It's
YouTube.
all one word.
Mm-mm.
And maybe we can, is it okay if we talk about yung drawing mo sa likod? Like, what's
Mm.
that's
Ah,
you mentioned leaf insect, right?
yes, leaf insects.
Mhm.
Actually, this is a work in progress. So,
Right.
meron pa ditong bakante. And these are based from actual specimens sa entomology collection. So,
Mhm.
these are actually holotypes. So, I'm presuming na um, ito yung mga tinatawag na holotypes wherein they are the specimen used to describe the the new species in a scientific journal. So, ayan, may green na labels, ayan, mga museum labels. And,
Oh, you mean parang siya yung ginagamit na model for studying other new species for the anatomy, ganun?
mm So, parang kunyari, kung measure siya, ayun, yung measurements and description based dun sa specimen na yun. Pag leaf insect kasi, syempre, based from the name alone, ayun, they camouflage as leaves. And what's interesting about them is that makapit sila sa sa puno. Kasi nakakita na kami nito sa field and syempre pag during field works, we need to collect some specimens and they're really hard to come by or
Mhm.
catch. Kasi talagang nakakapit sila and they're on
Mhm.
top of on top of
Wow.
most part of the tree. And ayun, they're hard to spot kasi yun nga, may times na yung mukhang tuyo na, minsan kamukha talaga nila yung dahon mismo. And when the wind blows, ayun, sumasama sila dun sa rhythm ng
Mhm. Grabe yung
ng
camouflage nila.
dahon. And so nagsusway din sila. So nakakatuwa silang nakita in person actually.
But sorry, do you actually capture them, no? To study them?
Yeah.
I know parang maybe I've seen this before na I know they can be quite big, like bigger than a praying mantis, tama ba? Or was that the stick insect?
Merong stick insects na malaki talaga.
Right.
Meron din super liit. So,
Mm,
depende dun sa kung nasan ka, saka ayun, kung anong species siya.
yeah. And itong leaf insect, it's hindi naman na actual scale to, no? I assume.
Hindi.
Right, right. So mas
Masyado
maliit pa
siyang
sa
malaki.
akin to. Malaki na. Nakakatakot na. So by now, for sure, I can imagine no, na it can also be quite exciting to know na of the maybe millions of species pa to draw. Like I can imagine it's still exciting on your part to keep discovering things and drawing new animals. Like almost maybe like every week or ganun.
Depende talaga kung ano yung kailangan for the meantime. Pero whenever I get the time to draw, I find time.
So I have to ask this question lang before we move on. So what kind of pen do you use ba?
Unipin.
You mean
um,
so okay.
ayun, actually may Unipin ako dito ngayon. Ayun. Yung usual lang na,
yan yung ano, 'di ba? Disposable?
oh, so I have these in different nib sizes. So meron akong 0.1, um, tsaka meron pang iba na micron na double zeros, triple zeros, ganon. Kasi iniiwasan ko na magmukha siyang parang coloring book na equal lang yung line weight sa buong drawing. So, ayun, for shading, ayun, ang ginagamit ko is yung mga maninipis talaga. And as much as possible, ayun, maingat din ako sa pagsistapling kasi pwede mapagkamalan na parang spot siya or mark
Right,
pag
right.
masyadong dikit-dikit
Mhm.
yung mga dots.
Okay, I have to ask you lang, what's your type of yung favorite mo na type of drawing? Is it yung more on black and white or yung maybe colored?
So far, yung sa recent paintings ko, I try to meld both. So may part drawing, may part painting, and ayun. May mga ibang shading kasi na nagagawa ang graphite or ang drawing na hindi mo magagawa in acrylic alone. So, ayun. So, kung gusto kong may ma-emphasize na subject, let's say yung pinaka-flower lang, yun lang yung colored na ginagawa ko. And then the rest is made with ayun, graphite na or pencil.
And I saw you do yung parang a model of a crocodile.
Uh-huh.
You did yung parang coloring sa crocodile.
Mm.
So, who did yung cast mismo? Did you
Ah,
help at all with like forming that and then
we're actually a big team pagdating kay that's actually Lolong. Ayun, when Lolong arrived, it was all the skin and just the head na lang, along with its bones. So we have a team from archaeology, zoology, and from the exhibition na ayun. So from there mahaba siyang process eh. So may herpetologist din kami nun, si Sir Arvin. So siya yung nakakita mismo kay Lolong in person. So ayun. So every now and then he would check kung tama yung body size, um yung ayun, yung kung accurate yung positioning nung nung feet, nung head, um, daming ano eh, daming factors actually. And then ayun, siyempre when it comes to the casting, siyempre we have to apply rubber mold dun sa leather nung nabuo na siya. And then ayun, saka din siya ini-cast. So, yun. So we have two two heads so far. Yung isa nakakabit sa taxidermy ni Lolong mismo sa Gallery 1 sa Biodiversity Exhibition. And then we also have one na naka-T-com lang. So we have the option na if we want kung nakanganga siya or naka-close lang. Eh. Tapos we also have the whole skeleton assembled.
Wow.
And ayun, nakahang siya ngayon sa Ayala Hall.
The
Yeah.
actual skeleton, right?
Mm-mm.
Wow. So, actual size siya, pati yung mga cast niya. Like, how long did it take you? Maybe a couple of months, no? For sure.
Yeah, a couple of months then.
Mm-hmm. Amazing na. I think you're also parang by now can be considered like a part biologist na rin. I mean, a scientist kasi the fact na in-invite ka rin sa Pinoy scientist that makes you
Pero being I don't think na I can label myself as a scientist kasi I work with them. Yes, pero I have a long way to go to become one. And ayun nga, what I try to do is, ayun, it is what I try to do is to stay more curious sa lahat ng ginagawa ko. Kasi once na hindi ka na curious or parang, ayun, parang hanggang dun ka na lang.
And any future plans, Isa, for your art journey? Maybe outside scientific illustration, maybe you're dabbling in some other forms of art?
As a hobby, I tend to dabble with, whatever I can get my hands into. And yung gusto ko talagang magawa is, to create more field guides, possibly a book on scientific illustration, and hopefully collaborate more with other researchers, scientists, and other artists within this field. And and learn from them, learn together. Ayun, medyo open pa ako sa sa future plans ko.
Right.
Ayun.
Yeah. And yeah, I hope we get to see your book in the future. And if you think of maybe doing some coloring books, like, yeah, let me know. I definitely get one for my kids.
Of course.
Okay, so last question na lang for sure. Since you did naman mga workshops, I'm sure there are people who also wants to pursue this career. What's your advice for aspiring artists?
One is to don't compare yourself with others kasi may iba-iba tayong timeline or journey or pathway na tinatahak. And strive to improve yourself in your craft in any way you can. Practice and practice and practice. Kanina ko pa sinasabi yun. And ayun, sayang din ang pinapractice mo kung hindi mo ipapakita sa mundo din yung artworks mo. So you have to put yourself out there along with your work.